Right now, on to the point. Tracking a weather impact alert. Rain, wind, and snow causing headaches for drivers.
Our Friday storm starting to leave a bit of a break for the weekend before more active weather heads our way late Sunday.
A shutdown averted. New details tonight about the crucial Senate vote to keep funding the federal government. Plus, more protests and backlash from DOJ's spending cuts.
You will not take your wrecking ball to America's public schools.
This as another judge rules on reinstating thousands of workers. State Farm could soon be able to raise their rates, what the state insurance commissioner provisionally approved, and what happens next. And Sacramento's small businesses say they're struggling. Tonight, their call out to the community.
We need your support. You're going to see massive closures in Sacramento.
Good evening and happy Friday. Thanks so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Laura Painter in for Alex. We start tonight with breaking news. We are hearing from California Democratic lawmakers following the Senate's vote to pass a 6-month funding bill. The vote was 54 to 46, almost entirely along party lines. The bill is expected to fund the government until September and trim $13 billion in non-defense spending. But it's also expected to increase defense spending by $6 billion. California Senator Adam Schiff released a response to the vote on X just moments ago, saying it's a bad day for our country.
Today we took up that 6-month CR or continuing resolution, giving Donald Trump 6 more months to continue doing what he's doing. We in the Congress gave up our authority, gave up our power to allow him to continue to do this because we feared something worse if we refused. Now, I made it clear I think that was the wrong judgment.
California Senator Alex Padilla also voted no on the bill, saying it just gives more power to President Trump and Elon Musk. The bill is now heading to the White House for the president's signature. Turning now to your weather impact alert, the storm brought rain and strong winds to the valley. It was so intense, one driver in Stockton even had a tree slam right onto his car while he was driving. Thankfully, he was not hurt. Meanwhile, along with heavy snow in the Sierra, we're also seeing snow at our lower elevations around 2,500 feet. This is video from Nevada County today. The snow and rain creating slick roads. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods joins us tonight, tracking the latest. Really a time to take it safe and slow on the roads, Monica.
Oh, you're right about that. I know some folks want to get their weekend started so soon, but we still have some lingering showers here, especially as we make our way through the valley. Capital Region starting to clear out right now, just up the hill, though. Still raining for parts of the lower foothills as we head into the northern San Joaquin Valley, still dealing with spotty showers all the way through the mother lode. Once we head up to places like Arnold and even Bear Valley, Kirkwood, still dealing with periods of heavy to moderate snow. 80-50 corridor, we also have that snow all the way down to about Forest Hill and Pollock Pines. And as you saw in Nevada County, we also saw the snow coming down and is continuing to do so with our winter storm warning in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. Higher elevations is our winter weather advisory also in place until 11 o'clock tonight. Only about 1 to 3 inches of additional snow coming our way, but we got to deal with everything that's already fallen up to this point. And as for rain, there's not much left over here for additional accumulation except south of Highway 50. Weekend forecast, it starts off great. We'll be in the low 60s, cooler than average, but mostly dry. Rain and snow returning late Sunday.
Thanks for the heads up, Monica. Thank you. And the weather conversation doesn't end here. Right now on the ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app, you can check out the latest extended weather, live radar, and weather explainers. The ABC 10 Plus streaming app is free to download on your TV. And we'll be checking back in with Monica later in this newscast. Right now, State Farm could be closer to getting an emergency rate increase approved. Today, Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara says he would approve the request if the company could justify the hike at a public hearing. Lara asked the company to present its argument April 8th to a judge who will then give a proposed decision, after which Lara will then make a final decision. State Farm asked for the rate hike after the LA wildfires. The company says it's trying to rebuild its capital and prevent a, quote, dire financial situation. The emergency rates include a 22% rate increase for homeowners, 38% for rental owners, and 15% for tenants. They'll go into effect in June if approved. Now to President Trump's first 100 days in office. A second judge has ruled the Trump administration must hire back thousands of federal workers who were let go. It comes as protests took over Washington, D.C. today against cuts made to the Department of Education. Perry Russum has the details tonight.
Protesters today outside the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. after DOGE, under the direction of President Trump and Elon Musk, cut nearly 50% of its workforce.
You will not take your wrecking ball to America's public schools. We will stand in your way.
Protesters arrested at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's office today after he agreed to support the Republicans' funding bill and avoid a government shutdown. Schumer pointing to DOGE as one of his reasons.
A shutdown would allow DOGE to shift into overdrive.
In Asheville, North Carolina last night, thousands showing up to this town hall hosted by Republican Congressman Chuck Edwards.
Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people to DOGE.
Military veteran Jay Carey removed by police. He says he's worried about DOGE's reported sweeping cuts planned for the VA.
Care is already difficult. It's going to get more difficult to the point where people may not even be able to get care.
A federal judge issuing a blow to the Trump administration, ordering more than a dozen agencies to hire back 20,000 federal workers. The judge saying certain rules were not followed, writing, "There was no individualized assessments of employees. They were all just fired, collectively." White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calls the judge's ruling completely absurd, saying they will fight back.
Our lawyers at the federal government who believe that this injunction is entirely unconstitutional.
And then in the middle of tax season, sources tell ABC News the IRS is expected to cut 18,000 jobs by the middle of May. And then the Postal Service is expected to trim its workforce by 10,000 with voluntary buyouts. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Perry, thank you. The California GOP Spring Convention is happening this weekend in downtown Sacramento. The Republican Party is gathering to elect a new state party chair. This is also the party's first convention since the November election. Last year, Republicans flipped 3 Democrat-held seats in the state capitol, including 2 in the Assembly and an incumbent senator. The convention lasts through Sunday. We'll have more coverage tonight on Late News Tonight at 11. Still ahead on To the Point, small local business owners in Sacramento say they need your help. Why they're struggling to stay open right now.
And we're still tracking the remnants of this latest storm system. Another one on the way. How the weekend is playing out.
And later on the back roads, we head to Napa Valley to see the annual mustard bloom. You know, it's been such a wild weather week, Monica. We got the snow, wind, rain, even some hail.
I know.
We are not done yet, right?
I know. We're going to end the week much like how we began the week, with areas of active weather, and we've got more in store as we head into the weekend forecast as well. Here's a look at the latest radar, and you can see the back edge of this trying to pull through the valley. Still some lingering showers for Stockton and Modesto, and then into the foothills and the Sierra, still impacted by this, with our winter storm warning in effect until 11 o'clock. A few flurries for tomorrow in the Sierra, otherwise mostly dry, and we start off dry on Sunday, but the rain, wind, and snow develop through the late day hours through St. Patrick's Day. Tuesday, back to mostly dry and a few Sierra flurries. We've picked up about 1/4 of an inch to almost 1/2 an inch of rain since midnight in the valley. Close to that as well through parts of the foothills. And again, we saw more snow piling up for the Sierra. Those peak wind gusts earlier today bringing down branches and trees almost up to 50 miles per hour for Sacramento and Stockton. We saw 50+ mile per hour gusts in the South Lake Tahoe area. Here's a look at the rundown of our temperatures for today. Downtown Sacramento and Sacramento Executive, low 50s. Stockton 52. We did bump up that high after the climate data came out for Modesto. It was 49, was going to be a record setter. It got up to 50 though, so no record low high temperature. Right back to a weather impact alert for the Sierra. 1 to 2 feet of snow down to 3,000 feet. Sierra gusts 45 mile per hour plus. Valley rain 1/2 an inch to an inch, and those gusts over 40 miles per hour coming in from that Monday storm. We will get a break from the active weather on Saturday. Nice to kick off the weekend like that with a dry start as well to Sunday. But here it comes. Rain back with us for Sunday night through Monday. That snow lingering into Monday evening before we see another brief break in the wet weather. Highs in the 30s tomorrow for this Sierra. Along the coast, we're back close to 60 degrees. That's almost 10 degrees below average. That'll be true as well for the valley. Active weather period on and off for the Sierra, the foothills, and the coast, and we'll see that in the valley as well. We'll start off the weekend dry into our Sunday midday hour. Then it's rain and snow returning late Sunday through Monday for St. Patrick's Day, and we've got spring showers for the vernal equinox on Thursday.
Lots to track. That sounds good, Monica. Thank you. Still ahead on To the Point, we're hearing from Sacramento's small businesses who say they're struggling, what they're asking from the community in this time of uncertainty. And doors back open, why vacation rentals may soon return to South Lake Tahoe. Small local business owners say they need your help. Everything from tariffs and inflation to online shopping and crime is making it harder to keep their doors open. Tonight, ABC 10's Becca Habiger talks with business owners about how the struggle is real and what can be done to help.
We weigh out each and every piece of dough.
It's hand-rolled bagels and homemade empanadas here at Forgotten Bakery on Stockton Boulevard.
You know, each bagel is different.
Robbie Naeem and his partner Paul are celebrating 1 year in business this weekend.
We're celebrating on Sunday, March 16th. We're going to be having some live music and good discounts on food.
But it's been a year of eye-opening economic challenges.
It's crazy. The price of eggs, the price of avocados, the price of flour, everything has gone up. The effect is the cost of our food goes up and affects profitability, affects paying wages. It affects everything. It's been a struggle.
He says a case of 150 eggs used to cost $69. He now pays $170.
Yeah, I mean, once it hit $140 a case, we weren't able anymore to absorb the cost. We had to increase the price of the sandwiches.
And with economic uncertainty, he says customers are spending less.
I would say past couple of months, spending has dropped about 30%.
At Strapping Store on Broadway, which has been open nearly 8 years, owner Susan Stewart is feeling the effects too.
Our sales were down about 40% in 2024 as opposed to 2023's numbers. So yeah, we're seeing a big dip in sales, which is unfortunate.
She has 3 strapping gift stores in Sacramento, plus Licked Ice Cream Shop across from her Broadway store. She says the popularity and convenience of online shopping mean fewer people are coming into local brick and mortar stores. Plus, with tariffs and inflation,
you're going to see a lot of people having less and less disposable income, and that affects all small business. It trickles down to us.
Over on Folsom Boulevard,
10 years worth of sausage recipes.
Eric Veldman Miller is packing up his shop.
We opened in November of 2015, so this is like 6 months in or so.
He closed his butcher shop last week after a year and a half of slowly dwindling sales while his costs kept rising.
Realistically, we just couldn't, I couldn't see it bouncing back.
He's still figuring out what's next.
It's fun walking down memory lane, but it's also really sad.
For now, he's dealing with what's in front of him. The weight of saying goodbye.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out. We had a really good run. We had a lot of fun. We fed a lot of people. We educated a lot of people.
The Sacramento Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce says small local businesses are struggling right now, but they are seeing more open than close in the downtown, midtown, and East Sacramento areas.
I think a number of the municipalities are seeing the need to help support businesses.
Liz Williams with the chamber says it's not just on customers to shop more local, it's also on policymakers.
How do we reduce barriers? How do we make sure that tax structures at the local level are not hindering, but they're actually helping increase growth? And we know that's going to drive our regional economy. That's going to continue to help all ships rise here.
She also stressed the importance of public safety. Over on J Street, Chris Sinclair owns the Good Bottle Shop, where a thief busted through his store window and stole from him 4 nights in less than 2 weeks.
Smash and grab, in and out in 30 seconds.
He says Sacramento police caught the guy, but he wished it didn't take 4 break-ins and says he'd like to see a more consistent security presence.
There are some things that just come with the territory, and this is the first time this has ever happened, but it's just kind of wild that it happened, and then it happened, and then it happened, and then it happened.
He and other business owners all say they're grateful to their customers and all share a message.
We need your support. You're going to see massive closures in Sacramento. It's going to lead to boarded up buildings. What kind of town do you want?
Small businesses aren't just about commerce. I give a little piece of myself, you give a little piece of yourself, and we all get to participate with each other. It's what makes life worth living.
In Sacramento, Becca Habiger, ABC 10.
Becca, thank you. The Sacramento Metro Chamber of Commerce says there are grant programs and other services available to small businesses. Now, owners are invited to call the chamber, which can point them in the right direction. An update to a story that we've been following for 2 years now. The Placer County Office of Education says they will help conserve 402 acres of Culver Valley. It's home to Native American historical sites and a threatened species of bird. It's also one of the last big swaths of undeveloped oak woodlands in Placer County. They say more than $2 million in funding has been secured for its protection through a conservation easement, ensuring its preservation for future generations. A judge has opened the door for vacation rentals to return to South Lake Tahoe. An El Dorado County judge yesterday reversed Measure T that was passed by voters back in 2018. The measure banned most Airbnb and vacation home rentals in the city's residential areas unless occupied by residents for most of the year. The city council has 60 days to file an appeal. You know what that music means. It's time for another trip on the back roads. Tonight, John Bartell takes us to Napa Valley for a one-of-a-kind sensory experience, soaking in the vibrant sights and scents of mustard bloom season.
As winter fades and spring pokes through the overcast skies, tiny yellow flowers take over the dormant vineyards of Napa Valley.
This is the mustard flower everybody's talking about.
The annual mustard bloom is a special time of year, especially in the St. Helena region. It's an awakening of all 5 of your senses. Visually, it's a bright beacon that seems to flag down visitors driving along Highway 128.
Especially when the field is full yellow, people stop on the side of the road all the time and get in the vineyard, in the field, in the midst of the flowers and photograph.
Although Salverstrand winery owner Richard Salverstrand appreciates the free publicity the mustard flowers bring in, he also loves the feel of walking through the vineyard this time of year because of what the flowers do for his grapevines.
It helps control nematodes and various fungus that are in the soil. So as the plant breaks down, it fumigates the soil.
So they're like a natural kind of pesticide sort of thing.
Exactly.
Just a few vineyards down the road, at Whitehall Lane, hungry sheep are getting their fill of mustard. Liliana Ramos with the St. Helena Chamber says this time of year, the woolly animals can eat in peace.
The mustard season, it's very quiet. And with that quietness, less tourism, but you get that really unique experience, that kind of one-on-one time with either a winery or a restaurant.
Speaking of restaurants, mustard is on the menu at the Cliff Family Winery.
This is going to be a bratwurst that we're going to add a little bit of mustard as well as fermented mustard greens.
What are mustard greens, you ask? Well, instead of using sauerkraut, Chef Magnus Young uses leaves from mustard plants.
And we just take mustard greens themselves, cut them up into thin strips, salt them, and then ferment them over about 10 days. And then you get a little bit of that sour flavor from the mustard.
If you didn't know, the mustard dressing we all love and know is a blended up mix of mustard seeds, distilled vinegar, and a little white wine.
Oh man, that's mustard.
That's mustard.
Sure, you can eat a brat by itself, but putting anything other than mustard on a brat is a big faux pas, according to Magnus.
Adding that little bit of acidity, that sour, that slight funk and tang just really helps to liven the whole thing up.
If you want to round out your sensory experience of mustard season, you can immerse your nose in the floral scent of the flower at Brasswood's Sensory Globe Experience.
Well, this is something special. It's our globes that we produce to tell the story of wine through your olfactory. So this is mustard, representative of the mustard season,
Mustard and grapevines have a symbiotic relationship by exchanging nutrients in the soil, and the glass sensory globes help you pinpoint the different relationships in taste and smell when drinking wine.
Each globe represents a different variety of wine, and we're showing that your taste has a lot to do with your smell.
Mustard season in the Napa Valley is a full sensory experience, from the sound of buzzing bees to the feel of picking flowers. And with limited crowds, it's a great time to visit.
From mustard season in Napa Valley, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Happy almost St. Patrick's Day. Many events are happening this weekend, including the 20th annual Shamrockin' Running event. The event helps raise money for the Triumph Cancer Foundation. The 5K, 10K, and Kids Leprechaun Dash are tomorrow at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento. The half marathon is Sunday. Thank you so much for watching and inviting us into your home on your Friday. To watch stories featured on the show, just download on our ABC 10 TV streaming app.